All right, hey everybody, I'm Matt McCormick. I'm the executive producer and one of the anchors of CSPN. And you know, in episode 3, we gave you guys a little bit of a glimpse of the 143 TV studio. But this being the last episode, we're going to give a kind of a bigger shout out to all the tech people and all the guys that have helped us all throughout the year. So let's get started. I'm here in the CHS library, and I'll take you into the 143 TV studio in an exclusive behind the scenes look.
Picture, read.
All right, first people we will meet right now is Reed Westcott and Andy Fewsmith. Reed Westcott, what do you do for CSPN?
Here I'm basically just one of the reporters, and I do a little bit of everything. Got a little tech direction, got a little direction under my belt. It's whatever you guys need.
Kind of an odd job guy. Thank you very much for your service this year, Reed.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. And Andy, what are you doing here?
Hey, today I'm working on a little bit of lighting in the studio, trying to get a nice good look on this video.
Sounds good. And you're not a student here at CHS. Where are you from?
No, I used to be. I graduated in 2011. I go to BU now, studying film and television.
We have a true professional here in Andy Fewsmith. Reed, Andy, thank you guys for your service.
Thank you very much.
Moving on into the actual studio right here. First up is my man Dan Kelly. Mixed up the names there. Dan,
All right.
what are you doing right now?
Technical directing.
Attaboy. And what is this contraption you got right in front of you?
It allows us to switch between the cameras live, so once we record off one and we can switch between any of them that are going through the switcher.
All right, sounds good. We appreciate your service. And you are also not a student at CHS.
No, I came from Situate.
Sounds good. And you volunteer a little bit here at 143T?
Yes, I do.
All right, we appreciate your service. Coming up next is Bryce Avila.
What's up,
Bryce,
Matt?
what are you doing right now?
Right now I'm just working and fixing the new CSPN intro.
Awesome. And what else do you do here at CSPN?
I pretty much do any GFX or like animations, and then I'll also if you see some of the backgrounds that we have of different sports, I also kind of put those together.
Nice. We love those, and we appreciate your service. What are you using for programs right now?
I use Photoshop for the pictures, and then for the animations, I primarily use After Effects.
All right. We appreciate all your service this year, Bryce. Thanks for helping out.
Thank you.
And next up, another big tech guy we got is the man himself, Colin Bell. How you doing?
Good. How are yourself, Matt?
I'm pretty darn good. What are you doing right now?
I'm editing some footage for the show. In general, I kind of direct the show, kind of keep an overall flow. But I also mainly edit the show. We try to do live to tape, but that generally doesn't work out. So we have a lot.
That's probably our fault with it.
So we have a lot to edit. So yeah, that's my main focus: directing and editing.
Awesome. What are you looking to do in the future?
As you can see, I plan to attend
There we go.
Fairfield University next year, and major into film, TV, production.
All right. So going the same route as NQ. Thank you very much for your service, Colin and Bryce. We appreciate you guys this year. All right. Here's the man who we couldn't do it without. He is the honey to our bees. This is Don Rowan, the program director of 143 TV. What are you doing right now, Don?
Right now I'm working on budget for our new equipment that's coming in.
And that we always need, right,
Yeah,
sir?
I'm the facilitator here. I make sure we get equipment that folks like Colin and Andrew or yourself, you recommend things that you need, and we look at them and see if it fits our budget, and then we present it to our board of directors. And so we work on a lot of different programs, a lot of different productions. CSPN, of course, is our favorite.
Absolutely.
Put
Better
that,
say that.
Yeah, put that gun down.
Thank you very much, Don.
Yeah, okay.
We appreciate your service all year. Couldn't do it without you.
Oh, thank you.
And we're just going to head into the studio. We do have a couple of camera operators. All right, and here is Steve Marr, one of our cameramen. He's a junior at Cohasset. Steve, what are you doing here?
I'm setting up a camera right now in preparation for CSPN, episode number 8.
Sounds good. And what do you do here at CSPN for us?
I operate these big wheelie cameras, and I'll help out with the cameras in the field sometimes, and I help with the editing.
All right, sounds good. We appreciate your help all year, Steve. Thanks for your service.
No problem.
And lastly, we got my man Jack Stanganelli here. What are you doing, Jack?
Setting up the other camera for CSPN.
Nice. We got 2 cameras going on here.
Yep.
That's some liveness to the full broadcast. We love it. And what else do you do for CSPN?
Besides cameras, I just help out with general things, sort of like odd jobs, whatever needs help in the studio.
Attaboy, much like Reed. Thanks for your service, Jack and Steve. We appreciate you guys all year. So we thank them for their service, and we thank everybody here for making CSPN what it is. Let's go watch the episode now.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to CSPN. Tonight will be our 8th ever episode and the final CSPN edition of the school year.
We know it's been a great ride so far, and we hope to go out with a bang in our final episode. Tonight's theme is the senior send-off. So in addition to showing you how the spring sports teams have been wrapping up their seasons, we're also going to give a little salute to some of the seniors who are playing their last games and matches as CHS skippers.
The spring season has been arguably the most exciting season and successful season for CHS athletics this year, so we have a packed agenda on our hands. And just a quick disclaimer, all of our stats and records are as of May 22nd.
The boys team is numero uno on the rundown tonight, as the Lax Bros have cradled their way to a 13-3 record under the tutelage of new first-year head coach James Bowden. I recently caught up with Coach B in an interview. He reflected on the season. Check it out. All right, thanks. Now I'm here with Coach Bowden of the lacrosse team. Coach, how are you doing this evening?
Doing well, thank you for having me.
We last spoke to you, about a month ago, and you're kind of wrapping up your first season now. What are your overall impressions of the program, from JV to varsity on down?
It's a very strong program. I think I kind of knew that coming in, but you looked at last year's record and it kind of gave you, some pause.
Right.
What is there a downturn where there are just a few Division I players, and that's why they were so good for a few years? And but really, it's youth on up. I've caught a few youth games. I want to catch more, but really, I've obviously watched some JV games and ours, and there's a lot of talent. I mean, we're graduating 7 kids, but younger than that, there's still a lot of talent. We start some freshmen, and so really overall, I'm very pleased with it, and just looking at. I think we can sustain it. I had a coach tell me today once we were talking about in the league awards and who might get it, and I was just surprised how few of our starters were freshmen. I mean, we're seniors.
Yeah.
So whereas like Norwell had 19 seniors last year when they had a really good run. So
yeah.
For us to only have 7 is really, we'll miss them obviously, but it's really good for the future that we don't have as many holes to fill, and there's a ton of talent. So I think that'll be the hardest part next year is picking which talented kids kind of make varsity.
Right. Yeah. No, that's never a bad problem to have. Based on your expectations, coming into this year, you guys obviously did pretty well. But based on your expectations, how do you think you did?
I had high expectations. I think any coach who wants to win, as much as I do, expects to go undefeated, shut out everybody, and score 20 on everybody. So, but I knew it was going to be tough. Well, I thought it might be a little bit tougher, but the amount of talent here, and people had told me there was talent, but I really don't think people understood how deep it was. I think some people just look, well, who's going to an ACC school? Who's committed? But I think talent goes so much deeper than that. So I'm really pleased with how well the kids did. I think it took a little while for me to adjust to them and them to adjust to me. I think, definitely the last time we spoke, I think we had maybe just gotten through that, or we're just getting to that point. It was actually the Scituate game was kind of our change where we started. Yeah. We went on a six game run where we scored 91-17 on our opponents. So I think the kids kind of understood the new philosophy of we don't care who scores, we just care as long as we do score, which is a little bit different than what was going on. But really pleased. It's a great group of guys, and I've coached in the last 9 years, 4 different programs, and this is definitely one of my favorites.
Well, awesome. We love to hear that. And then, one standout player has been Jack Connie. He's performed very well in the net, and a lot of defenders on the team have been doing well. How have you guys been so rock solid in the back, and also at the same time being good on the attacking end?
I think, Conti surprised a lot of people, but not me too much from when I first shot on him. I knew the talent was there. I think he just needed a few pointers, just a few more. Another year. He was a sophomore last year. His body's developing like any kid in high school, really, even seniors. So, but you could tell he's got talent. We've got 3 talented goalies, to be honest with you. But Jack's, he stepped up. He's got some great stats. Almost 70% saves.
Wow.
And he's got the confidence, and then that allows the defense to have confidence that they can make better plays. They don't have to worry that it's going to be an outside shot, it's going to go in. They know it's going to be a save, so they can risk a little bit more or slide a little bit later to stop the doorstep. So, but I think we're scoring a lot because of defense stripping the ball, making a good save, and we're going on transition quickly, and we've got attackmen who can really finish really well. So.
All right, sounds good. And another, big part of your philosophy is starting freshmen. I know against Westboro, Jack Donahue got the starting nod on defense. How does that help your team to start those young players?
Yeah, Jack's actually started pretty much all season.
Oh, wow, okay.
And, you know, we've got Danny in there as a freshman. Max is running almost every other long stick. So, you know, of the freshmen, you know, they're getting tons of minutes, and even, you know, sophomores are getting tons of minutes as well. And I think that's huge because no kid's really going to get better by, you know, not playing.
Right,
you know?
right.
So my philosophy's always been, if you're not going to play in varsity, and that's what I told a lot of kids who didn't make the cut, was you're going to play JV because you're going to get the time.
Experience.
You're going to get the experience. You're going to get the playing minutes. You're going to get the face-offs if you're that guy. You're going to get the shots for your attack or goalie, that kind of stuff. So it's huge for us next year too, where we're not graduating, like I said with Norwell, where they graduate every role player.
Yeah.
Everyone who was on the field left, so you know then they don't know who to build off of.
Right.
Where for me, it's like I know who's returning, and we know how deep we can go, and it also helps in the playoffs too. And that's my philosophy. Is you know I looked and heard about last year with injuries and other reasons for kids not being at games. You have to have a deep bench. You can't rely on 2 kids to score all of your goals. It's got to be everybody. Obviously, 1 or 2 kids will score more. That's just the nature of the beast. But overall, I think if every kid's comfortable playing and everyone knows the rules and everyone knows the philosophy, then no matter what, we'll be fine for this year, next year, and so forth.
Definitely, we love to see that young talent stepping up. But more importantly, you know, this is our senior send-off for CSPN. So, you know, talk about the class of 2013 being your first graduating class as a coach at CHS.
You know, I think it's been tough for them because they've had three different coaches over their 4 years, and that's tough for any kid. Different mindsets, different philosophies. So I think they, you know, embraced me as much as they could, as much as any senior can, and they've been really great for me. And they've stepped up and they've helped me by, you know, running what I want and giving their own ideas too and their feedback, and I love being open to that. I mean, just unbelievably talented kids too. You know, on offense we've got, you know, Nick, John, and Drew and Hunter. You know, they're just obviously going to be hard to replace their guns. And their smarts and their scoring and moving off ball. And they've been, you know, on offensively kind of been able to move to positions where they hadn't played before, and they've been open to it. And,
a little bit of versatility going on there. Right?
Willing to adjust to a new system, and it's tough as a senior. You know, you kind of want to do it your way. And I think once they bought in, it's been great because, I mean, just how many goals we're scoring. We've scored 6 or more goals in every win this season, all 11. And, you know, our 3 losses were by 5 or more. But, you know, so we haven't had that close game, unfortunately. But I think offensively, those kids are good. And then you've got Jaeger, and you've got Tommy, and then you've got Ryan on the defensive end for seniors, which we'll lose. You know, 2 midfielders and a goalie is always going to be tough as well. And they've stepped up to a new system too, the D mid-roll, you know, which is a lot less glory. But you know, as you can see, our Situate game, Tommy shut down their main gun, and that was his job. And so kids, when they can accept a role and realize, if I do this correctly, we're going to win a game. And I think that's really where these 7 seniors embraced it. They want to win a championship, and they realize, you know, if we all are on the same page, it's going to happen. Their work ethic has been great. I tell my wife every day how lucky I think I am to be coaching here and coaching these kids.
Awesome. Well, we thank you for giving us our time, and we'd like to wish you guys luck for the rest of the year. Coach Bowden, everybody, let's go back to the studio.
Thanks to Coach Bowden for his time. He's a dear friend of CSPN, as he has twice fit in interviews into his busy schedule to help us out. We'd also like to congratulate him and the boys for winning their recent bout against BC High on senior night.
And as Coach alluded to, there are several performers on the team who deserve note. First of all, goalie Jack Conti has been phenomenal. He currently averages only allowing 6.4 goals per game, so that's a big reason why the Skippers have been successful. And he has a save percentage of around 66%, so you see he's stoning cold opponents all day long. And the defense is a major reason why Conti has been so stout. A couple of the big important guys for the defense are the twin Jack Towers, as we call them, junior captain Jack McGogan and freshman Jack Donahue, who start on defense. And another good notable defender is Tim Gillis, a sophomore.
Well, we know defense wins championships. The Skippers' middies and attack have been huge factors this year as well. Will Golden, Drew Nahill, and Cole Kissick have held down the middle of the field so far this year, and while the big 3 attackers, John Mills, Nick Tangolini, and Colin Whalen, have registered the bulk of the Skippers' points this season.
And of course, we would like to send off all of the Lax team seniors as they have had a great season this year and great careers in their 4 years as skippers. Senior, salute. The girls lacrosse team has also had great success this season as they have battled their way to a 7-6-2 record thus far under the direction of brand new head coach Cully Reardon. For more on girls lax, let's go down to Reed Westcott, who is at Alumni Field with the team. Hey Reed, how you doing down there on Windy Alumni?
I'm doing well, thanks.
All right, the girls team underwent a head coaching change this offseason. Can you tell us how that's affected the team thus far?
Yeah, they did undergo a head coaching change this year. They brought up their assistant coach, Cully Reardon, from last year as their new head coach. She brings a lot of lacrosse IQ to the team. She won 2 national championships at Middlebury College and then went on to coach Babson, so obviously a very good resume right there.
And we know, Reed, the team obviously has a lot of talent this year, including some girls who have committed to play Division I college lacrosse. Can you tell us a little bit about the overall talent of the team there?
Yeah, we have 4 great college commits, 3 of whom are actually juniors. Our senior commit is Hope Kissick, and then we have Catherine Dunn, Molly Fitzgerald, and Maddie Curley as junior commits. So great for them. There's a lot of depth and versatility to the team that they're bringing. So.
Now you mentioned a lot of the talented performers on the team. We also know that the team is particularly young. Can you just speak to the youth movement of in the future of
Yeah,
CHS
the future looks bright. We have those 3 committed juniors coming back along with Mackenzie Axelson. We also have Kyle Burke and the O'Neill twins coming up. So looks to be a great team in the future.
We love that. And the final question before we let you go, Reed, as part of our senior send-off, can you just describe the impact that the team's 3 senior captains have had on the season thus far?
Yeah, we had 3 seniors out here. There was Kylie Kaufman, there was Hope Kissick, and there was Kristen Alexander. And with Kylie Kaufman in goal and Kristen and Hope out in the field, they were leading a very strong team, and we'd like to wish them well and send them off this year.
All right, thank you, Reed. Great job out there. Now we're going to transition to everyone's favorite squadron, the track and field team. Maybe a little biased there, Anthony. Everyone's favorite squad. Maybe. Anthony is a little bit too modest to mention that he is the captain of the Cohasset boys track team. He leads his fearless defenders into every single event. Is that accurate, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty serviceable.
All right, spoken like a true captain indeed. Let's start off track talking with the boys side of things. How are the boys doing this season?
The boys went off to a phenomenal start, especially when you look at how we've performed in the past few years. When head coach Al LaFontaine took over last year, real change of environment. He's a strict coach, likes to keep things on a strict schedule. So we've had a lot of kids qualify for states. On both boys and girls, we've had 25, so it's an amazing number for such a small team. So just some of the qualifiers, I guess, are myself and my brother Bobby in the 4x1 relay.
There you go.
And then in the 400, Elijah Tree-Ponce qualified. He'll also be running the 4x4 relay alongside, the 4x8 relay alongside Matt Gregory, Julian Geyer, and Cole Morrison. And Cole also qualified in the 110-meter hurdles. So overall, great season for the boys.
And on the girls' side of things, how are they doing?
They're also doing very well. And a lot of the wins haven't come up because there's such a young team, and the league on the girls' side is very, very strong. But they've had definitely a few standouts. Freshman Kate Gibbons qualified for states in the mile. Not only did she do that, she won the mile run at the league meet, so she's a league champion in that. And then also freshman Emily Rosano qualified for the 100-meter dash, so she'll be going to states as well. And then other freshmen who have qualified include Shay Carney, Megan Rosano, Kerry Dunn from Cohasset, and Mimi Waters in the high jump. So a lot of freshmen qualifying, but also seniors Caitlin Mavelia and Melinda Dignam and junior Kate Broderick will be running in the 4x1.
Awesome, Anthony, and thank you for the update. Well, almost nothing beats having a real live captain in the studio. An undefeated team is almost just as exciting. The Cohasset girls tennis team has been untouchable, putting forth Herculean efforts this season en route to a smashing success. At 18-0, the girls team has their guns or rackets blazing currently, but all that surprisingly hasn't amounted to very little pressure for the girls. They have managed to stay relaxed, upbeat, and even a little silly. Take a look at this behavior in a recent interview. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am now here with some members of the undefeated CHS girls tennis team. We got Meredith Spofford, Sarah Corey, Kate Sukiaskian, Emma Smith, and Charlotte Barshevsky. First question for you guys. Coming into the year, did you guys expect to be undefeated at this point in the season?
Not even a chance.
What?
Yes. I didn't. Well,
it's been great luck that we've been doing so well. I think we came in with the expectation that we were going to do pretty well just because a lot of us started last year. And we had Emma Davis again this year.
The
and
powerhouse.
we didn't know if
Davis.
she was going to come back, and she came back this year, so I think we're kind of expecting to do well.
Awesome. You guys lost some seniors last year, but you think you guys
Yeah, we
replaced
were
the
able
talent
to
well?
we were able to fill in the spots because we dropped Hannah Boston, who was third singles, and Caitlin DeAngelis, who was my partner in first doubles, and we were able to like move the lineup around to like have those points that were winnable.
Awesome. And what happened at individual states with you guys? I understand some people had some success there.
Yeah,
well,
the most successful person is Emma Davis right now. We kind of got screwed in the earlier rounds, but Emma is doing great.
She won the title last year too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She's still playing in singles right now.
Awesome. Sounds good. And is she the MVP of the team? You know, what about some other impact performers so far? Do you guys know?
Definitely Emma Davis. Emma Davis. Emma Smith. Emma Smith.
Emma Smith, yeah. Emma plans
that's
on
nice.
playing tennis next year in college too.
Oh, nice. Where to?
Bates.
Nice. Good luck there. And for the team state tourney, do you guys have any expectations? You know, obviously you're undefeated, probably going to get a high seed. What do you guys think?
We'll win states.
Knock
on
on
wood.
wood.
We actually hope to
We
win.
hope.
Knock on wood.
We're gonna take it one step at a time and hope for the best.
We recently beat the Division II state champions, even without our best lineup, so that was pretty impressive, I thought.
So you guys feeling good going into the tournament?
Yeah, but I feel like
it's good confidence, but we just have to take it slow. Yeah.
Now, what's it like to have all these seniors on the team? You know, you guys able to kind of band together and get this last run before you guys graduate. What's it like?
I like it.
We have a good crew.
Yeah.
Everyone's really
Thank
nice
you.
to sit, like, we really just have a lot of great
I
think we've all bonded this year.
This year the team is definitely closer, I think, than I think any year I've played.
Yeah,
to
we
be honest.
pasta. Yeah.
Sounds good. And finally, you guys will be moving on next season, obviously. What do you guys expect for the future of Cohasset Girls Tennis?
I think they'll definitely have to reconsider like positions and everything, but I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, overall, I think they'll be okay.
All right, sounds good, guys. We thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Back to the studio.
Great job out there, Matthew, and all I can say is wow, congratulations to the girls on their success this season, and we can expect a very, very deep tournament run.
Knock on wood for that, but certainly the girls have the means to make a very deep tourney excursion this year. And that was also all the seniors on the girls tennis team, so how about we give them the old senior salute as they wrap up their CHS careers.
Absolutely, and on the other side of the courts, the boys tennis team has also been killing it, clocking in at a record of 15-5. Seniors Justin Coben and Jack Tomei recently spoke with Matthew in our CSPN conversation, so take a look, take a listen.
All right, guys, I'm now here with two very special guests, the senior captains of the boys tennis team here at CHS. We got Jack Tomei, who plays second doubles, and we got Justin Coben, who is a first doubles team member. Now, congratulations, first of all, on a great season so far. You guys have been awesome, double-digit wins, only a few losses, heading into the tournament soon. Did you guys expect to be this good, given how last year was kind of a middle-of-the-road season?
You know, it's interesting just because, like you said, we didn't do as well last year, and we were coming off like having no seniors, and we all like were practicing over the winter. And when I saw the team coming up just at the beginning of the season, you know, I was thinking I had high hopes. I was thinking we're gonna do well.
Yeah, I agree.
Good. And you know, you guys, like you mentioned, you had a young team last year. You lost a couple of starting players, but you also, another turnover you had was new coaches. You had Mr. Levisi and Mr. Amster come in as new coaches. What impact did they have on the team so far?
Well, Levisi is obviously, I think he's a great guy, personally. He's probably one of the best coaches I've had in sports, you know. He just brought, like, I don't know, he's just a great guy. I mean, he's really like
hands-on with his teaching. I see what you mean, yes.
He has great energy, you know, because like I didn't know him personally until we started playing tennis, and it was so easy to just get to know him, have a good conversation, and he taught us some great things about tennis.
And that expertise is really important, having a young team.
Yeah, I mean, like, we got to bond with him in the car. Me and Eric went down to individuals with him. We got to know the guy. He's a great guy. I mean, he played tennis in high school, and he played first doubles and third singles his senior year. They went to the tournament, I think he went to Millis, I believe. So,
okay,
yeah.
so he's got some high school experience.
Tournament experience, yeah.
And you're mentioning the tournament. Now, you guys are entering the tournament as a team. What do you expect? You know, maybe go a couple rounds. What do you guys think?
Well, it's tough. The last time we went to the tournament was 2 years ago, and we played like Martha's Vineyard first, and we got crushed.
I think it was Dover Sherborne.
It's tough in that tournament.
Was it? Oh, it might have been.
Yeah.
You know, it's really hard to say how you're going to do in states. It all matters on who you get paired up with.
Yeah.
But I have high hopes again because we've been strong so far this season, and we had a big win yesterday against Situate. So,
I mean, they're tough tournament teams, and obviously, like, we've played some hard teams in like Hingham and some other teams, you know. But I really think we could
strength of schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I really think we could have beat anyone on our schedule. So, I mean, I think we could go all the way. I really
Good,
do.
we love to hear
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And another, there's also a tournament in tennis, people don't know always, but there's an individual state tournament as well, so certain players from teams can go, and a few of you guys made it. What happened there at individual states?
Well, it wasn't really good for the rest of the team, like maybe the other 4 groups, like the 3 singles and the second doubles team didn't advance past the first round, but me and Eric Weinstein, first doubles team, we went around. We played BC High in the second round, which was really hard. We got crushed, but I mean, we got some tournament experience and looking to continue
it's
that.
all in good fun, right?
Yeah, it was great. I played a second doubles with Nathan Bumstead, and we had a good time. We went to a third set. We played hard, and it was good fun.
It's a really long wait, I'll tell you. Though.
Yeah, we were on call a lot because of the rain.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
was rainstorm in there?
Oh, yeah. It was
Does that affect your playing? Being in the springtime with all the weather and stuff, is that, wondering the day of, you'll be in school and it's raining, you don't know if you have a match that day. Does that go?
I mean, weather always factors in, winds tough, rains, if you're playing in the rain, wet courts, they don't really play that much. But, I mean, yeah, it does factor in. I mean, I had to get up at 6:30 in the morning, got to play at 5:30 p.m., which is kind of ridiculous.
That's a long day,
yeah.
just to wait for one match.
Yeah, obviously.
It is crazy. But, with rain and things, if you get lucky, you'll be fine. If it just drizzles a little bit, it's no big deal.
You got to tough it out sometimes. Do you guys have any, moving on a little bit, do you guys have any special shots that you guys have in particular? Any particular specialties? We're just curious here at CSPN.
Me personally, my best shot is my power forehand. That's across court.
Just bringing the heat?
That's where I normally work on. But over the winter, I was working on my endurance, just trying to get across the court as quickly as possible, because that's where I was weakest.
All about the net. Love the net.
Just
taking over the net. Yeah.
We like that.
I gotta say, Eric Weinstein's best shot would definitely be down the alley, because when I played with him, he just we played these twins from Bridgewater Raynham, and he would just go right down the alley. They couldn't do anything about it. It was ridiculous.
I love that. And you keep mentioning people played over the off season and stuff. How did that kind of off season regimen sort of thing? How did that help you guys improve from last year to this year to have real success?
Well, I found that a lot of kids actually on the tennis team did devote some time over the winter to practicing and getting ready for tennis. It makes a huge difference when you get there, because you're kind of already in the mode of tennis, and you got all the years. You've been working on your swing for days now and weeks, and
so there's no rust when you're coming in, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
No, yeah, that's what you got to do. I mean, last year I was more at Situate Racket, practicing every day, trying to get ready for the season. But this year I was trying to do more strength training, just so I could
specialize your game. I see. Okay,
right.
Just
so you work on the things that you need to work on, and you fine tune everything you need to do. Now, you guys have obviously been great this year. Looking ahead a little bit, and you guys have. How are you going to keep tennis in your life, after high school and stuff? Do you have any plans with that?
Well, at college, I'm going to try to play intramural, I think.
Okay,
I mean,
that's fun.
I really like tennis. It's great sport.
Yeah,
I'm glad I picked it up.
The college I'm going to is going to have club tennis, and I definitely plan on trying out, going for the team.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I can't wait.
We'd like to congratulate the boys for a great season and wish them luck in the tournament. For Justin Kobit and Jack Tomei, I'm Matt McCormick. Let's go back to the studio. We'd like to give the senior salute to Juicy J and Jack T and wish the tennis team luck in their tourney run.
We are now joined by our CSPN correspondent, Michaela Durkin. How are you doing this evening, Michaela?
Good.
Good to hear. We're here for your final CSPN update of the season. I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah, glad to be here, Matt.
Thank you.
What can you tell us about the softball team this year?
Well, the softball team has returned to CHS after struggling to field a team the past couple of years. The young and talented team plays the majority of their games at Freedom Field at the Barnes Complex in Cohasset. The team consists of mainly 8th graders and a few talented upperclassmen leading the way. The team holds a very bright future and is looking forward to possibly moving up to the varsity status next year.
Awesome. And just a quick correction from last episode, we mistakenly said that the sailing team was new to CHS this year. It has in fact existed prior. A little error. We apologize if anyone was offended. But anyway, on that same note, Michaela, what can you tell us about the skippers faring the high seas recently?
Well, the sailing team has done an amazing job this season, and as you guys know, the team is combined with Hull. They currently sit at a 5-2 record. A couple of weeks ago, they attended the Mass Bay League Championship and performed very well. It also looks like there will be a lot of talent returning from the Cohasset side of things, and the future of the team looks strong.
We also know that there are many noteworthy student athletes who deserve, particular praise for their springtime achievements. Can you just tell us a little bit about these fine folks?
Let's see, there's a lot of talent here at CHS. First off, I'd like to congratulate freshman Kate Gibbons, who recently won the 1 mile at the South Shore League Championship. As a freshman, that's almost unheard of, so very impressive. Congratulations, Kate. Also, sophomore Emma Davis of the undefeated girls tennis team. She's looking to once again capture the gold in the individual state tournament, which she won last year as a freshman. Both Bobby Nahill and Kristen Alexander received Scholar Athlete Awards, great achievements, noting talent both in the classroom and on the field. Senior John Mills of the boys lacrosse team was named Boston Globe South Shore Player of the Week. Great accomplishment, scoring goals at insane rates, leading his team. And finally, senior Hope Kissick, who recently became the all-time girls lacrosse points leader. Wow, very impressive. I'm going to tell you guys you're witnessing history here, and I'd like to wish her good luck as she goes off to Florida to play next year.
All right, Michaela, thank you for the update. Next up this evening will be the baseball team of Cohasset, which has rebounded from a little bit of a rocky start and now finds himself in tournament position at 11-9. The boys recently took time after practice to film a This Is CSPN commercial. Let's get inside the mind of some of the CHS Chirp squad.
The Cohasset Skippers baseball team prides itself on sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship. Sportsmanship.
Baseball is a really sensitive sport, so we try to just make sure all our chirps are positive towards our team, and we don't like to get under anyone else's skin.
Never make fun of anybody. That's our policy. An old adage that I have learned over the last few years is that positivity keeps the doctor away.
Hey, pitch. Plate hasn't moved in 50 years. You still can't find it.
Oh my God, that pitch was more disgusting than the school lunch. Hey, 25 hasn't driven someone home since junior prom.
Hey, he's bringing the stinky cheddar. Get your cheese grater out, baby!
Now, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a little bit bizarre, but you know, what hasn't been bizarre is how the boys have played so far this season.
Absolutely. Captain Connor Getz leads the way for the Skippers at the plate this season. He's literally ripping the cover off the ball. He's batting .379. He also has 18 ribbies to go along. He's been doing great.
Absolutely, and the CHS pitching staff is a stable of live arms as well, with ace Shane Haggerty's 4-2 record and Verlander-esque 1.543 ERA leading the way.
It's certainly safe to say that we've mentioned Shane probably more than any other person in the history of CSPN. We'll get him his award when the time comes. But first of all, shout out to Hags, Cobb, Getzy, Davey, and Duels. What a great class of 2013 Skippers for the baseball team, excuse me. Good luck to the boys of the summer, and we hope that they can extend their season long into the summer by making a long tourney run.
You want to stop making those puns? It's like,
I thought it was a pretty, boys of summer, you know, into summer, you get it?
I mean, I'll give it to you, but
save the hostility for Case in Point, bro. We'll get that
I mean, it's coming up next.
Is it really?
So, I mean, we might as well take a look, right?
All right, Case in Point right now. Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the fancy suits out and some awesome cameras, so you know that means it's time for Case in Point. This time on CSPN Case in Point, we'll be discussing some New England sports, most notably the Red Sox, Celtics, and Patriots. Anthony, let's get into it. First question. Do you think the Red Sox are legit title contenders this season?
I'm going to say absolutely. I think when you look at the addition of John Farrell, the new manager, I think this new atmosphere around the club has been phenomenal. Pitching, he's the former pitching coach of the Red Sox. And we look at the top two right now, Lester and Buckholz. Buckholz lights out
They're
right
killing it.
now.
I'll give you that.
Lester's been phenomenal. When you look at across the board, they're a pretty talented team. I just think that right now they're top AL East, kind of a pleasant surprise from our perspective. I wasn't sure how losing all those stars from last year would pan out.
In the Dodger trade, right?
Exactly.
When they gave away Gonzalez.
Crawford, and Beckett.
I agree.
But I mean, they're playing well right now. I think the batting average might not be so great right now, but I think it'll get higher as the season progresses. And then, like I just said, I think the talent they have on this team can take them pretty far. So.
All right, I'm going to agree with you in some facets. I think the thing that they have going for them is that lunch pail attitude. I think last season when they shipped out their stars, I still have pain from 2 years ago when they had the whole chicken and beer, Francona meltdown. I don't even know what was going on there, but I think they did the right thing, getting rid of those stars and bringing in workmen-like lunch pail type guys like Dempster and Napoli, who have been pretty good. And they're not elite players, but I think you go back to that 04-07 cowboy up workman-like attitude. I think that's when the Red Sox are really at their best. But I don't think this team is really, I don't know, I just don't think they're superior. I mean, you look what they're doing at the plate right now, it's pretty unimpressive. I mean, they're winning games, but how long can you win games when you're not hitting anything? And well, you're hitting some. I mean, they're hitting okay, but they're not good enough to be an elite team. And I think Farrell's a great pitching coach, but how long until we see the classic Lester meltdown halfway through the season? Like a lot of times, Boston pitchers tend to you know, the injury bug bites at the wrong time.
Right,
That's a
right.
big thing for this team, that they can stay healthy. They might be able to be a World
Yeah.
Series contender, but I mean,
Sure, I'll give you that.
I think this is a playoff year for them. I agree with you that they're a good team, but I don't think they're a World Series contender. You look at the teams around them, you know, John Farrell's former team, the Blue Jays, they brought in Jose Reyes, they brought in R.A. Dickey, they have Batista
Not playing
already.
well, though.
I mean, they got good talent, I think.
Sure.
And you teams like obviously the Yankees every year are a good team. The Rays sneak up on everybody. Adam
Rangers
Jones
and Angels in the
yep.
AL West.
Right, and in other divisions you're mentioning too. I think it's going to be a tough road for them to be contenders, but I do agree with you. They could be a playoff team. All right, let's move on to the Celtics now. Anthony, it's obviously a tumultuous offseason for the Celtics. What do you think that the Celtics should do next with their star players?
I mean, this is a tough question.
Near and dear to my heart, this one, my
yeah,
Celtics.
It's hard to see Pierce and KG, you know, give their all, as we just saw. They lost in Game 6 to the New York Knicks in the first round. You obviously don't love to see the early exit, especially for guys like that on the back end of the career. I can't see Paul Pierce playing in a uniform other than the Celtics. But when you look at the Celtics, nothing flashes really. I mean, Jeff Green.
Pedestrian team.
Exactly. They're destined to be a middle of the pack team. You know, get maybe one of those middle seeds if this team stayed together for next season.
With Rondo coming back.
Yeah, I agree. They probably have to make some moves. I can't see where. Maybe Pierce goes, KG goes. You try to bring in some younger players, rebuild a younger nucleus to build around, and hopefully it'll take them farther. But I don't know, what do you think?
I don't know. I think we can both agree that there needs to be change. I don't think we saw what this team could do. Not much. Even if they had Rondo, I mean, that's such a hypothetical. But I don't see them beating the Heat or beating the Pacers, top of this conference. I don't know. Let's go over the options, I guess, shall we? I mean, looking at the cap figures, if they buy out Pierce, they can buy out Pierce in his contract. There's a facet that says if they spend $5 million, they can buy out Pierce. And we assume that if Pierce goes, KG goes. I don't think KG is going to stay.
Right.
I think they're kind of a package deal at this point. So maybe you let those two guys go. You get some cap space.
Sure.
Sign a guy like Al Jefferson, post presence. I don't know. There's a couple other options. You could completely bottom out, trade Rondo, trade KG Pierce, and I don't know, try to bring in some talent. I don't know what you're going to get from those players.
Right.
You could. What I think they should do is ride it out another year. Get Rondo back. He'll still be in the prime of his career. He only had a partially torn ACL. He'll be able to probably start the season.
See what happens.
You get Sullinger back maybe from an ACL injury partway through the
hopefully
season.
his back holds up. Too.
I mean, I don't know. I think we should, like we've been saying every year since they won, maybe give it one more year. And another really interesting thing, I want to get your take on this.
Sure.
Stephen A. Smith reported this absurd trade that might have been brewing between the Clippers and the Celtics. The Clippers would send, let's get this straight, Doc Rivers, their coach of all people, KG, and Pierce to the Clippers for Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and Eric Bledsoe. What do you think about that?
I
It's
mean,
screwy, but
I can't see it happening. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
We have seen coaches get traded. Bill Belichick, actually, the Patriots sent a first-round pick to the Jets to get him. I mean, just saying that is something that's happened in Boston sports.
Doc, one of the best coaches in the league right now, arguably the best. I can't see him sending away. I mean, that's the first part. And when you look at obviously KG and Pierce, look like they'll be coming out, leaving Boston. But for what you get, Griffin, highlight reel. Jordan, highlight reel.
Griffin at 20 and 10 has 20 and 10 potential.
But
DeAndre Jordan led the league in field goal percentage this year.
I mean, when all of your field goals are dunks, I hope you lead the league in field goal percentage.
He's an efficient player. He knows he can't hit outside shots. He doesn't take them.
But I mean, he was lost in the playoffs. Didn't show up there. So that's something that we need if we want to make the postseason. Griffin, I just think if you, like you said, alluded to earlier, if you bring in Al Jefferson, another 20 and 10 guy, you can do the same thing.
But
Griffin has the injury history. I know he's older. I just think he's
23.
I think Griffin's. I mean, I think Griffin's overrated. Read an article by Skip Bayless who said Steph Curry should have been the #1 overall pick instead of Griffin. He thought way back then. I mean, look at what Curry's doing now for the Golden State Warriors, leading them.
Curry's out of the conversation.
Listen, hear me out.
Okay, all right.
You see what Curry's doing for the Warriors, leading them against the Spurs right now. Griffin doesn't have that potential to me at all. I mean, Bledsoe, like you said earlier, is just a combo guard.
we have enough of those on the roster
Good,
right
he
now.
would be a good putting him and Bradley on the floor at the same time would be
Sure,
scary
that
to me.
I see what you're saying. I think the deal is kind of outrageous.
I agree. I don't see it happening, but I think that would be a cool deal for the Celtics. You know, at least it'd be better than keeping these oldies on the team for so
Sure.
long. But I mean, it'll be really interesting to see what they do with their young core between Rondo, Jeff Green, Jared Sullinger, Avery Bradley, even guys like Jordan Crawford, Terrence Williams. How do they mix with the vets like KG Pierce, Terry, Lee,
Yeah, sure.
Bass if he decides to, Wilcox if he decides to come back rather. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting ride this summer, and we'll see.
Absolutely.
The draft is coming up soon. We'll see what they do in the draft, and that will probably dictate a lot of the stuff they do in the rest of the year. All right, final question for Case in Point. How do you grade the New England Patriots offseason after what they did, who they brought in, who didn't come back? You know, just analyze that.
All right, so I think we should go through who they drafted.
Yep,
Start
who they brought in. All right,
start off with the
I agree.
draft. Second round picks include outside linebacker Jamie Collins, wide receiver Aaron Dobson. Two players we're both pretty high on. Third round selections were cornerback Logan Ryan and safety Deron Harmon, both out of Rutgers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you're correct.
Fourth round, Josh Boyce, another wide receiver. And seventh round, Michael Buchanan, DN, and then Steve B, we'll call him. Steve Buharness, something like that from Rutgers. We don't know how to pronounce his last name. So that's who they drafted. They did the typical Patriots, trade out of the first round, get the value picks in the second round, get a few extra picks at the back end of the draft. And then in the offseason, aside from the draft and free agency, they pick up wide receiver Danny Amendola from the St. Louis Rams, safety Adrian Wilson from the Cardinals, and then Tommy Kelly, defensive tackle. So, I mean, I think they've filled some needs, I think, in the draft with Jamie Collins.
Just before you go on, a couple players also to mention. I'm a Patriots nerd about their personnel, so I mean, sorry to show you up, but they brought in Armand Armstead. He's a guy from the CFL. He's a D tackle. He was like CFL Player of the Year or something, so he's another good one. And they also you've got to look at the guys they re-signed. They re-signed Aqib Talib, Sebastian Vollmer, and Julian Edelman. Continue.
No problem. Thanks for enlightening us.
Sorry.
I think they filled a few needs in the draft, linebacker, wide receiver, and then in the offseason, obviously Welker's gone, so I mean that's a huge blow, losing 100+ catches the past few years.
I agree.
One of Brady's favorite target. Adrian Wilson provides some leadership in the secondary. I know he's on the back end of his career, but he's an enforcer. He's 6'3", big guy, hits hard. And then Tommy Kelly, another guy who could be in the mix on the defensive line. So, I mean, I'm going to go a pretty ambitious grade and say it's an A-.
Okay, all right.
I think they filled the needs.
I agree with you. I have no problem with that grading. I think you look at Jamie Collins, the linebacker out of Southern Miss. Good prospect, maybe not going to be fantastic right away.
Sure.
Dobson and Boyce, both pretty good receivers. Guys, they drafted Ryan, brought in Adrian Wilson, re-signed Talib, re-signed Arrington, some new faces and also some continuity in the secondary. They brought in Kelly and Armstead to help out Will Fork. But I mean, I like a lot of the stuff they did this year. I like that they brought back Vollmer. I like that they brought back Talib at a discounted rate. But you also look at like Tom Brady right now. I mean, he signed that 5-year contract, but how many more years of really being the Tom Brady that we know and love does he have? I think they missed an opportunity to strike quick, and that's why I give them about a B-, whereas you gave them an A-.
Sure.
I think we agree on the things that they did well. I think you look at what they could have done.
What they missed out.
And what they missed out. I mean, they signed Kyle Arrington, kind of a bad deal. They gave him
I'll agree with you there.
$4 million a year, where they
that
gave Talib only $5 million. So I mean, is Talib only $1 million better than Arrington? I don't know. I mean, Adrian Wilson's at the back half of career, as is Tommy Kelly. And you look at their receivers right now. They have Danny Amendola. He's going to be their number one. I like Danny. He's a good player. I don't think he's the same production as Welker.
He's not Welker, sure.
And then you look on the other side. You'll have Dobson, a rookie, starting. And Gronk is going to be missing the beginning of the season. So you look, who is Brady going to really throw to?
That's true.
He doesn't have a go-to guy. I mean, if Amendola cannot...
Hopefully he can step up.
Right, if the injury bug bites Amendola, this team could be in some hot water. I don't know. I think they definitely did some good things overall, but the potential to do more, to get a guy like Mike Wallace.
Sure, I'll agree with you.
Could have got a guy like Dwayne Bowe. Could have got a real target for Brady to throw to.
Sure, I'll agree with you.
I mean, I don't know. I can't give them that high of a grade, but I think that it's going to be a good ride for the Patriots either way, and this is one of their last chances at a Super Bowl. I think
Gotta get it done.
They did some things that could help them, but they could have done more, is all I'm saying. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up for Case in Point for tonight. We hope you guys enjoy the New England Case in Point. Let's see what's next on CSPN.
Wow, that was a pretty great discussion. I mean, no hard feelings, right, Matthew?
None at all, my friend. Now I know what all of you at home are thinking. CSPN Episode 8's kind of winding down a little bit, maybe starting to freak out, maybe even sweat a little bit. You're wondering, what am I going to do without CSPN?
Well, CSPN fans, have no fear. During the summer, Matthew and I will be transforming our Case in Point segment into its very own show, CSPN 10. We will discuss 10 issues from pro and amateur athletics and even have some special guest stars to help us out. Matter of fact, let's check out the epic trailer for CSPN 10 right now.
I'm excited.
He averages 23-7. How can you say he's not elite? At least top 5.
What's a single game last year? He can't complete a pass accurately longer than 10 yards.
Not a superstar. Like, literally, just look at like what he does during the course of a game. Are you an idiot?
Your argument makes literally no sense. Do you hear yourself talk?
I can't even do this anymore. I can't be in the same room as you. I'm not. All right, CSPN looks pretty cool, guys, admit it. But anyway, check out our Twitter and Facebook pages to keep track of when CSPN 10 will be running. And if you stay in tune with 143 TV at all, you should be fine as regards to knowing when it will be running. But anyway, it's getting towards the end of CSPN's first season, so that means we will sadly have to send off the seniors of the CSPN staff.
All right, let's begin our send-off with one very last trivia time. And the question is, drum roll please. How many seniors are on our very own CSPN staff?
And your choices are, as you'll see displayed right here, you have A, 2 seniors, B, 3 seniors, C, only 1 senior, that would mean only Anthony, or D, 6.7 repeating seniors. Not quite sure how there would ever be a decimal point, but you know, D is never the correct answer if you ever watch CSPN.
So we're gonna give you a little time to think carefully over your answers.
Choose D at your own peril.
And the answer is A, 2. Myself, Anthony Nahill, and our technical producer, Colin Bell, are the only 2 members of the CSPN staff.
And you two most certainly will be missed as seniors. We appreciate all of your hard work this year. We wish you luck going off to college, and we hope you guys stay in touch with CSPN.
You know we will, and we'd like to thank all of you for watching episode 8, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Everybody here at 143 TV deserves a shout out for sure. Don Royne, our program director, of course Colin Bell, our technical producer. Bryce Avila with his amazing effects and editing, Michaela and Reed for their phenomenal reporting, Steve, Jack, Andrew, and Dan, the guys behind the cameras making all this magic happen. And thanks to everyone who has agreed to interview and give us all the stats to help us out throughout the year. Shout out to you guys as well. You've all made it a great ride for Matthew and I, and we hope you watch CSPN 10 in the summer as well.
And also thanks to all the viewers. You guys really have been an awesome fan base so far in our inaugural year of CSPN. Anthony, I couldn't have said any of that better myself, but you know what? Twan, it's your last episode, so I'm going to let you take the honors. Close us out.
Thank you. For everyone here at 143 TV and my colleague Matthew McCormick, I'm Anthony Nahill. Until next time, keep it classy, Cohasset.